Welcome to the Borgata Poker Open. We've got final table action of the BetMGM Poker Hybrid Championship. I'm Terrence Reed with you in the booth. 6 players, names showing currently on the screen, played online from the comfort of their living rooms, offices, bedrooms, maybe in their underwear, not sure. Today they're fully clothed and with us here live from Borgata to close this one out. So cool. You play online, make the final table, and they bring you out to finish it up in person. We're going to go around the room. Mike Lavin, Dionysus, Yong Kwon, IReadYrSoul. We got lifetime earnings and largest cash as we go around the room. Calvin Hartman there, C. Hartman. Earnings not available. Online Crusher, PLO King. David Stevens there in seat 4. Deerpathdave online. He's got 150K live earnings.
Yeah.
Again, online players, sometimes their results are not always going to show up on Hended Mob, so these guys experienced in both online and live felt. Nick Devenezia there, 2.6 million coming in dramamine. And you'll recognize their chip leader in seat 6. That's Funaro. FrankyFunk online. Everyone knows him as FrankyFunk at this point. The most experienced player coming in with the chip lead at this final table. Got to be the favorite. We'll see how he navigates. Certainly comfortable in this position as chip leader. This man has live earnings of nearly $4 million. There's our chip counts. You see FrankyFunk Funaro on top. David Stevens comes in as the shorty with 15 bigs. Average stack is about 25 big blinds. So not super deep here. 6th place has already locked up $7,361 with $35,388 up top. Let's get right into the action. Oh, and when I say action, I mean action, because we've got jacks on queens, late position violence to kick off this final table. Mike opens up the pocket jacks to 200K. We're playing the 100K big blind level here. And Yong has queens in the small. Raises it up, a non-all-in sizing he chooses, just under 1/3 of his stack. Cal gets out of the way. Now we're back on Mike, who rips it.
Oh, this will be so funny. First hand.
Destined to be queens on jacks.
Oh my God.
Mike on the wrong side of it. But Yong's the player at risk with the dominating overpair. A smile. Are you serious? This is the first hand.
Yeah, nothing live.
Should have blinded him out.
Ace high flop of no help.
It's not even a fun turn swipe.
Only 2 outs. 7 won't do it. 2 jacks for Mike, otherwise Yong will secure the double. Not there. First hand out of the gate. And Yong Kwon finds the double.
Was it on the first one?
And with that double, catapults himself up to 2nd place.
1730.
Leaving Michael Lavin down at the bottom of the couch, 8.4 big blinds. Wow, we just got the show started and already piles of chips flying.
1730.
Okay. And the leaderboard changes drastically on that note.
173, yeah.
This stream was scheduled to begin at noon. One of our players, not naming names, wasn't aware. We did have to make some schedule adjustments because of the snow this week.
I thought I was going to lose that too, for sure.
This final table, originally scheduled for a different day, was moved to today because of those schedule adjustments. 5 players showed up and not the 6th, so we were gracious enough to push that back to now, 4 p.m., to accommodate these players. Appreciate you hanging out with us. despite the change. Early position fold of pocket sixes, little tight, 6 ways, but understandable. Just getting our feet wet. And look at this, another monster for Young Kwon on the button. Ace king suited, certainly a raise. Those are the min sizing of 200K, and Dave has a queen 8 off in the big. Let's it go. Live to see another day. 2 for 2 on pots at this final table for young Keun Kwon. This man has $250,000 or so in live earnings. Looking to add to that, as this would get reported as live earnings despite beginning as an online tournament. In addition to the 35K plus up top, these players have added value of a gaming laptop that was thrown on to the first place prize. And it's not just any gaming laptop. This thing is a beast. We'll get a picture of it shortly, sitting in the corner of the room. How nice that you reward these online players with a beast of a gaming laptop. 9900X CPU, 4080 Super Graphics. That's going to handle your 48 tables if you're that sicko.
Cool.
Cal finding ace king on the button now. A lot of premiums to kick off our final table. Nick will call the jack 8 off. And flop top pair, 2 overs and a gutter for Cal.
Check.
Continuation bet from the man wearing the New York Mets hat.
7.
A check raise with top pair from Nick. Puts Cal in a tough spot. Hate to throw away this equity with 2 overs and a gutter, but we're not super deep here. Let's see a turn. A king on the turn. Nick hates to see that card. Cal loves it. We have less than a pot size bet behind effective, and a very important pot for both of these players. One of the worst cards in the deck from Nick's perspective.
Check.
Counts his stack, takes some accounting, checks it over to the pre-flop raiser. A check behind with top pair. Ace on the river gives Cal top 2. Does Nick turn
Check.
this jack into a bluff? No. Does Cal go for value? Trying to figure out what worse hands might call him. His opponent likely would have bet a queen on the river, so this feels like the nuts. But will anything worse call you? Certainly we have other 2 pairs in our opponent's range that would be compelled to put some more chips in the middle, I would imagine. He agrees top 2 too strong to just check behind.
$750.
Goes for 750 into just under 2 million. Kind of the nightmare run out for Nick here. When you check raise the jack, You don't want to see
Right,
anything
right.
over a jack, and instead he sees 2 cards on the turn of the river over a jack. Cal goes for it. Maybe missed a little value on the turn, but don't blame him for pot controlling on the river with less than a pot size bet behind. And ace on the river denies any possibility of value. Nice pickup for him. There's a picture of our Borgata Winter Poker Open Championship. Alongside that computer we were just talking about, look at that. BetMGM branding, clear panel on the side, gets a look at the inside. That computer power to fund these guys' bankrolls as they grind the online streets. Very cool added prize from BetMGM Poker. If these guys time out, it's not going to be because of the computer they're working with. What in the world is happening? Premiums left and right. Dave, working with 12 big blinds, has ace-king and raises the button, and Nick has 9s in the small blind. This is going in. And Frank has ace-jack.
Yeah.
Frank will be
about
tempted
1.7
here.
million.
The button open certainly doesn't have to be this strong. Our first test for FrankyFunk.
Here you go. Sorry about that.
Chin in hand calculations processing faster than that computer can behind him.
1735. Yeah.
Call.
Does let it
I got
go.
And then we're toss up then.
Yeah. we
Well
got a
done,
race,
Frankie
guys.
Funk. These guys will head off to a race.
I
Frank-
probably got just a titch more. Were you the low stack coming in?
He has like 1, 2, 3, 5 or something.
Yeah, if you were the low stack coming in. Yeah.
Frank has to love hearing the snap call from Dave, reinforcing his decision to let that go. The other
Suited,
two,
huh?
Nick and Dave, will head out to a run out. Here we go. Spin the wheel. Queen high flop, safe for now.
Long way to go.
That's
A
think
9
that
will
might
end it.
that does it.
I
Yep.
think that
No
might
outs
do
for
it.
Dave.
Okay, Dave.
7 on the river,
get in.
meaningless. Well done, Dave. Thanks for coming out.
Oh,
Making
that
the
for
trip
5
down, the man from Mount Kisco, New York, adds to his earnings. Will go home just over
you win
$7,000.
No, no, not the 7 9. Yeah, not.
73.61 to that man's pocket leaves us with 5. Frank has to be happy
Yeah,
that
won the
he
button, too.
found the fold with the ace jack.
I'm a net
Right
these
on the
days.
cusp.
Huh?
I'm a net these days.
I call you in that
Big hand.
ace jack
Find out later.
in the muck.
His opponent
When do we
called
get
it
to find out what
exactly.
everyone had?
This final tell will be over by then.
I feel like ace queen is a hand you have to go with
Oh,
there.
man,
Ace
take the
10
chair
is a
out and
clear
everything.
fold. Ace jack is cuspy. In this case, Frank found the folds, and good on him because he would have lost a pile of chips if he went with that one. As it is, maintains his place atop the counts.
740.
I take that back. Young has taken the lead, but Frank's still right there in second place, and we go 5-handed, quickly losing 1 out of the gate. Frank takes one down on the small blind, raising up the 8-7 suited.
I don't know.
Production company, shout out to you. These guys, not only do they
No, that
work
was
hard,
me. I
but they
snapped
are
it right
malleable
off.
and
I thought I
adapt to
had
the
it.
schedule needed.
I have to really think hard not to snap them down. Yeah.
I don't get it.
All right.
With the weather
Yeah.
this week,
Yeah, they got
adjusting the
incentives in
final table
Yeah, I know.
dates,
Yeah, they got money
times,
in
and
them.
then today, changing the table from noon to 4 p.m. These guys
Yeah, I
are
definitely.
people with lives
I definitely
and responsibilities, and adapting their schedule on the fly
that's what I'm
to
showing
bring
you.
live poker to you right here from Borgata. Appreciate all of them.
6 fold.
Can you just say it out loud, dealer, because I lost my headphones?
All in?
Yeah.
Okay.
1 is all in.
Suited king from Nick
2 calls.
rips it with Yong in the big blind, who
Hey,
just
my help.
calls with the A7, of course.
Looking at me.
We're only looking at 6.5 bigs effective. Oh, King Diamond 6 club, excuse me, offsuit. Looking for help here. No help. Mike at risk.
That's a
Young Fives is
that's the best
7,
card.
but that's actually a good card for Mike, who picks up additional gut shot
There it is? Oh, no,
outs. Non-existent on the river. Bang, bang.
I burned
Another
the
one
king.
bites the dust. Michael Lavin
All you gotta
from
ask.
Beverly, New Jersey, hitting the rail in 5th place. Takes home
Well, we're deep now,
just
but-
a shy of 10K for his efforts.
Honestly, the way this went, this is going to make it the longest.
Yeah.
Which has
Yeah,
happened.
He went, and that guy got. You
If
got
it,
Young.
if it went a different way, it could have been a lot quicker, probably.
Yeah.
Frank telling the
every
truth.
pocket.
This will make it go the longest.
Yes, we're only 45 minutes in. Yes, we've already
mean,
lost
I
2
can't-
people.
Everyone's got 30 bigs or more now.
Or less than that, my goodness. 2 people down very quickly, my
You
point.
got a white chip in. your
But the
right-
short stack's
right
now
stack.
gone, and
Bonus.
stacks have evened out around the top. So yes, ICM factors will make it difficult for these players
much does
to
we
get
have
all
here?
in.
Do I have a white chip?
3, 4.
But with the premiums we've been
man.
seeing, if that keeps up, that might not matter.
Two calls.
Just a call from Yong in the small blind. With his suited queen. Suited jack from Cal, both fairly deep, 33 big blinds effective now. That's going to be the case for any post-flop play. Both whiff on the paired 10-10-9 board.
Three, that's 100.
Young checking
2 calls.
and check calling the 1 big blind bet with his queen high. Turns a 6, makes the best hand, although it was already the best hand. He finds a pair. Still ahead of the air balls of the jack 8s of the world, but if we were behind on the flop, we're still behind. Likely going to see a raise from most king highs and ace highs of Cal pre-flop.
3 bets 425.
Chunky turn bets. 80% pot gets it done. Young just releases his 6. Aggression from Cal pays off, and he'll pick up the pot. Our shortest stack now being Nick Devenezia with 30 bigs. So all of a sudden, with 2 quick eliminations, pretty high on the average stack, and got some post-flop
It's 1-1 still.
playability across the board now.
Six fold. Two is to 200. 3 fold.
Okay, Yong, you go. Chip leader now taking on the chip leader responsibility, opening up the jack deuce suited on the button, and an offsuit king from Nick. This is a candidate for a 3-bet.
4 raises to 600.
He agrees.
Sorry, 5, not 4.
No,
Button's good.
oh yeah. Speaking of seats, can I move to the middle? My eyesight's kind of shoddy.
Is he allowed to move to the middle?
You can switch to the other side of that box.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They'll
Yeah.
probably make you stay in the same.
That's why I stood up before. I'm having a hard time reading the flops. I actually don't want to see flops.
That works.
Yeah. That's okay? This is it? Thank you, man.
Somebody
I'll
who's
use
used
this
to
box,
being
so I'm gonna go
really
pitch on
close
my
to a
right.
computer screen,
I got you.
live poker from the corner of the table might be a little tough to read. But yeah, I can't completely move because we've got these seats programmed to names, and he's going to be stuck there. But good enough. Scoot over a little bit, get a better view of the board.
Raise 250.
5 raised 250.
Uses his new position to leap into action with a jack-9 offsuit, raising blind v blind. Frank 6-5 off, curious to see how in the mix he wants to get now with all these stacks very close to each other. We'll call. Offsuit connector position. Let's see a flop. All things
Check.
considered, a pretty good one for Frank. Hard to make a pair. Open ender on this board, getting checked to. We'll just take his equity. Let's see a turn. This is not the card Frank wanted to see. Any pair likely bets the flop, and now when this hits, hard to represent that we've got
400.
anything. It's also true for Nick. Bets is jack high. An interesting puzzle for Frank to solve. How do we proceed with our open-ender, 6 high, doubting our opponent has much, but sitting with nothing ourselves?
$875.
Leaps into action,
875.
takes advantage of the perceived capped range. Nick also has to think this seems fishy. But it's one thing for alarm bells to go off in your head. It's another to pull the trigger. Frank not afraid to do so. Can Nick
Fold.
sniff anything out? Even if he could, too much to play for in his mind. Lets it go. Well done, FrankyFunk. Plays like that get him to final tables like this.
Yeah. Call 200.
5 calls 200. 6 folds.
Nick chooses to just call the button with a 9-8. Don't hate this. Cal opens up the ace-7, and we're heading to a flop. Pair for both players. Trouble for Nick.
300.
Both players with backdoor draws. A lead from Nick with second pair on the ace-high board. Oh, apologize. Bets it when checked to. There we go. And Cal will check call with his ace. Spicy 4 of diamonds brings the backdoor flush draw for Nick. Do we take our equity? Do we keep the pressure on? Would Cal have really checked an ace? We know he did.
I'm all in.
Oh boy. Wow. $2.17 million
How much is that?
It's like a little over 2 million won.
into 1.3. The overbet second pair flush draw. Maybe trying to get weak aces and pairs 10 through kings to fold. And that's exactly what happens. My goodness. Make sure the camera sees that one, Nick. Good job.
How much do you have, Shmuel?
Don't worry about it.
How much?
All the pressure with that bet.
Can we post the chip counts above everyone's head?
Chip counts
So
just
much
showed up
easier.
as
Can we do it in big
requested,
blinds?
sir. Frank's still on top with 44 bigs. Calvin at the bottom with 32, but all of these guys have a great shot at closing this thing out. That was a great play.
Close to 4.
I don't know if he knew his opponent
Only
had
too
an
many
ace,
pots.
but if you can get one pair,
I'll
if you
take
can
this
get the
one.
ace to fold there, that's amazing, because we're never dead with our pair in a flush draw, or rarely so. Heart of a lion from that man.
Three check. Heads up. Two check.
Limped pot between Yong and the small, Carol and the big. Pair of the bottom variety for Yong, gut shot for Cal.
I got about 3-4.
Now turning
3.4.
open-ender. Young still has the best hand, bottom pair. But lots of cards above that on the board. Feel like we got to start betting if we're Cal.
Three bets 300.
Need the king highs to fold. Need the sixes, the sevens to fold. Have equity even if we get called. He does, and takes it down. With the big sizing, I might add. These guys know how to leverage the situation. Another look at our beautiful trophy. That thing probably weighs, I don't know, too much to bring home in your luggage unless you're going to pay an oversized luggage fee, but that computer, definitely so. Oh, how sexy. BetMGM logos across it on the fans and on the exterior. These guys ready to upgrade their game, not just in terms of bankroll, but in terms of online computing power. That computer goes to first place in addition to the 35K plus. Just another of the special things that they do here at BetMGM Poker. Try to make these events player-friendly, added value. Same thing we're giving to you guys out there in Stream World. Thanks for being with us.
12. Three fold. Three play.
All right, we're going three ways to a flop for the first time, I believe, at this final table. Couple
Check.
of ace-8s and a 7. Oh my, a flopped flush. 7-8 with a gutter ball to the straight flush against two guys with top pair. What a world for Frank Funaro. King doesn't change too much. Time to start building this pot, going for some value. Wondering how much is the right number that we can get some action.
Six
like this. Third pot. Desperate for somebody to call with one pair. Can't really let it go if you're Yong against Frank.
I like it.
But Nick, on the other hand, once called, does decide to let his go. And it's now a matter of how many chips is Frank going to collect here. I really like a decent chunky bet from Frank. If you've got something like the Queen of Diamonds, Queen 9, Queen 10 with the Queen of Diamonds. It's the perfect spot to bluff. Look at this, he agrees.
That's 1.9 million.
The overbet, polar, a bluff or the goods? That's the question Yong now has to ask himself. You might say, you got one pair, it's a flush board, there's a straight on the board, this is easy. It's not easy, especially against this sizing. Frank's saying, hey, I've got a flush, maybe a straight, or I've got not much at all. When those are your options, the ace looks tempting, but Yong finds the fold. Love the bet from Frank. Extracted some value on the turn, went for the gut. Went for the neck, the kill shot on the river. Not to be this time, and Frank extends his lead up to 52 bigs atop the counts once more. If you're in the chat,
No, you were right.
keep me company. How we doing? Where are you from? Who you rooting for? Drop a note. This can be interactive if we want it to be. Let's shout out your players. You got somebody you hope takes this thing down, takes you out to eat afterwards. What's it going to be?
Not today, Satan.
Not today, Satan announced. We are in the middle of the Borgata Winter Poker Open Series. Honestly, becoming, in my opinion, one of the best couple weeks of poker on the calendar year. These numbers are insane, guarantees blown out of the water. We've got tons of mixed games, no limit, PLO, high stakes, low stakes, satellites. Events running multiple per day, and if you bust those, they got cash games downstairs as well as the full hotel and casino, multiple restaurants and steakhouses and bars. Where else are you going to be in January?
Six call.
Taking a flop, and Frank out flops Yong here with his bottom pair.
Six, that's 100.
Pretty standard from the small blind, whether we connect or not, just leading for a small size. Gets the fold from Yong, denies him that equity. Takes it down. FrankyFunk doing FrankyFunk things.
Two and a quarter.
5 raises 25.
Okay, Nick. 2.5x with the ace-5 off.
4 left.
Young demonstrating
I'm in.
pretty tight range here, playing four-handed. Let's Nick take this one with the ace-5.
So we've been playing over 30 minutes. My phone's blowing up in my pocket. Somebody must have bluffed me.
Who was it?
Yep, these guys can get notifications from their friends and family. There's a place for a rail out here. We're on a 30-minute delay, so
There's a
sure.
couple of hands I'm curious about it, now that I think about it, like that 1.9 million.
Get your info. Cannot access your phones at the table.
Hey,
Got to step away in order to do so.
I know, no, I get you, I hear you. It makes sense, but I had a weak ass ace that I did not want to go to war with.
Frank with the
Have to
ace
call.
king. Listen to Nick say I have to call. Queen 7 suited, it might be true. Don't know that I'd give Frank any more information than I have to.
Check.
Both brick the 9 high board. Much better flop for Nick's range than Frank's. Still, it's hard to make a pair.
6 check.
Standard check behind. Frank has to love seeing a paired board. Makes it less likely his opponent has a pair. To go for some value / equity denial, or to check behind, we'll check behind. Even better, double paired board, ace high feels like the nuts now. Will Nick try something?
Check.
No.
Board queen. Can't beat an ace.
Board queen no good.
Can't get an
Ace
ace
takes
to
it
fold
down.
either. So, yeah.
I wasn't full.
Yeah, I can't get an ace to fold. I can't get an ace to fold. Not that.
Honesty across the board from these two competitors.
It's all good.
Burner in the chat. Are you just making stuff up at this point? Cal Kelleher. Is this guy the most interesting man
Oh, yeah.
alive? Does he drink Dos Equis?
No doubt.
I don't understand. There's so much happening. Oh, man, this is going to be a good time. Cal Kelleher once ate 35 hot dogs in one day while attending Syracuse University. We do have the live stream going on both Borgata's channel and BetMGM Poker's channel. So if you think I'm crazy and referencing chats that you don't see, it's likely on the opposite channel, but we'll try to navigate both of them. Russell Thomas says that Cal Kelleher once saved him and his dog from a burning building.
I think 3.4 an hour, right?
How can you not root for that guy? Strong hand, King 10, 2 Broadway cards.
350.
Nine, 7 off in the big against our chip leader. Yong has to make some choices. I believe Yong has been kind of the tightest range at the table so far. Obviously a very small sample size. Will come along with a call in position against the aggressive Funaro, who, of course, flops top pair.
175.
Absolutely nothing working for Yong. Just gotta let it go. Whether Frank's getting up to shenanigans
Fun's
or
good.
not, we've got 9 high. Let's get out of here, and he does. Frank just continuing to accumulate chips here in this 4-handed configuration with heavy ICM complications.
$225.
High raise, 225.
Pocket kings for Nick. Oh boy, Cal has pocket 10s. 4-handed, a monster. Trouble for the chat favorite. Somehow finds a just call from the big blinds. And is rewarded with middle set against the overpair of Nick. Doom in the cards for Nicholas
275.
Devenezia. Of course, a continue with the overpair. To call or to raise, the 2 questions going through Cal's mind.
Three raises, 650.
Let's raise it up now. This is interesting because with the just call pre-flop, you got to think Nick doesn't put many pocket jacks or pocket 10s in Cal's range. So we're looking at Jack 10, 3-3,
Cool.
and bluffs. Let's keep the bluffs in, shall we? Let's see a turn with just a call. That is a very brick 6 of diamonds. No draws get there. Changes absolutely nothing. We've got about a pot size bet effective behind in Nick's stack. Cal lifts the hammer, ready to drop it. If he knew what Nick had, a jam would be perfect. Of course, doesn't have to have a hand as strong as King King. This is torture for Nick.
I'm all in.
A shove, understandable. He has
I'm
an
overpair.
overpair, but
Set's good here.
his spidey senses were tingling
got
and they
covered.
were right. Set's good here.
Big
Well,
too.
Pretty sure he does have you covered, Nick. Cal, the man, the myth, the legend, the most interesting man in the world. In a great spot.
Oh,
Oh
unbelievable.
my goodness.
and that never happens for me, sir.
A king on the river?
Unbelievable.
All right.
I mean, I don't think I played it poorly, but it's unbelievable what happened.
We still got a
Are
good
you
story
kidding
out of
me?
Yeah, right? I had 2 outer.
The
Yeah,
2 outer
I'm
for
ready for it.
piles?
You guys want drinks?
it. Can I just get a water, please?
Yeah.
Cal had his man right where he wanted him.
Thank
He
you.
got all the chips in
Thank you.
with 95% equity. Not like this.
Looks like.
150.
That's it, thank you. Sorry.
Not 2 million.
Oh my goodness, so much equity in that pot. And Nicholas Devenezia gets it all. Our new chip leader. No way indeed. Calvin Kelleher left with a couple chips in one chair.
One big.
I got your drink. Don't worry about it.
That's a good. That's a
You
good.
what?
I got your drink. Don't pay.
You got the drink?
Yeah, because I showed up late.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Not
hold
like
out
this.
For like a comp lunch or something, you know? It's like 4 hours, but.
Wow. The best
Yeah, what
hand
happened, man?
reversed over and over again in that hand, and coming out on top was
Damn,
Nicholas
man, that's
Devenezia,
crazy.
who,
I never get lucky like that.
well, now you have in a pretty big spot, Nick. Any of us who play tournament poker have been on both sides of that. How bad it feels on one side is directly inverse to how good it feels on another. And suddenly, the 2-outer catapults Nick above Frank in the counts. And we have a super shorty in Cal Kelleher.
2 calls.
If his phone was blowing up after a rudimentary bluff, that hand is going to go viral in his friends and family chat.
All of it.
Raise all in.
Understandable, super short. We need a double in a bad way and have
That's
very little
exactly-
time to work with.
Oh, no,
Suited
I got it.
7-5.
Can I have a count, please?
It's like 155, I think.
Yeah, 155.
I'm gonna call 155.
Yeah, saw this coming.
155?
Both these players going to go on official tag team up against Cal. Try to end the job. Cal looking for diamonds or a 5.
I'm gonna check.
Not there, and a bad board for him with 2 clubs.
Check.
5 checks, 2 checks.
Check.
Nothing doing,
man.
and somehow
I have 8 high.
I have 7 high.
I have
8 high will win this pot. A chop pot between 2 8 highs sends Cal's out the door. Maybe the first time in his life that he's been eliminated by 8 high
Brutal.
in the grossest of spots, but it was the hand before that really told the story for him. Out the door in 3rd place thanks to a 2-outer,
nice teamwork.
collecting $12,797.
It seemed right at the time for 5K, for 4K. It seemed right for 4K.
Devenezia still on top of the count, splits it up.
1.56, 7. You have 2.7, Spewy?
Is this my chips?
Yes, it is.
That's my chop, right? That's my half of the pot.
Like 2.8. Just 1 big blind, right?
God, that production member who comes in, just wheels the chair out, feels so much like an Undertaker, just collecting the souls of those
I
eliminated,
was just big. I'm small blind.
wheeling them out the door with cold,
I'm in.
heartless
I'm with you guys.
nonchalance.
A little slow.
Okay.
3 hands.
So if I have 5, 8, you have 2, 8. 8, 6.
320.
5 raised to 320.
Does Frankie Funaro have aces?
Yes, I can.
Come on.
900.
This should be illegal.
Raised to 900.
Nick
I don't
has
know
an
what I
ace
wanna
in
do
the
yet.
small blind, and Frank Funaro has 2 of them in the
usually know
big
very
blind.
quickly what I want to do. All right, I'm folding.
Wow. Not what Frank wanted to hear. And many opponents are
I'm not kidding.
not folding that ace there against
Bluff
Frank
me.
Funaro in the big blind. But here we
I
are.
love you.
Frank back on top.
I know you don't care enough to watch the stream now anyway.
2 million.
What is it, 120?
Did you walk over there and watch the screen? On that diamond board, what did he have? Did that one come up yet?
I'm not telling you.
You can't say it to me? No? All right.
He doesn't know.
It's too soon.
Nor does he care.
It's too soon. Yeah. Like, what are you going to do with it, right? At this point?
Devenezia, thank
But you
you
did
for
say
the
you did it
assist,
roughly,
chat.
so I guess
Devenezia, we got
Just
what
check
looks
my
like
email.
family in the chat. Thanks, guys, for being here, rooting on your
Colin.
homeboy.
I don't even know how many chips I have.
Frankie Funaro just laying down the pressure.
I don't wanna look at the second card.
I got
Apparently, Yong just
2
looked at the
million,
deuce and
3
folded.
million, 4 million, 5 million. 5, 4. Oh, no, a little more than that. 5, 8.
I have 6, 7.
6, 7. Thank you for telling me. Appreciate it.
Which one is Nick? Just don't move around so much, because I gotta adjust the camera. You're like moving back and forth.
I'm excited.
Fair enough.
Put on a show.
240.
This guy just
See?
making our production job a little
exciting
difficult
football.
by fidgeting back and forth from spot to spot. But who can blame him? We're playing for big money. And he just hit a 2-outer. The guy gets to move a little bit. We'll work with it.
Call 240.
Frank races, king knight off, 7-6 suited, reasonable hands, and we go to a flop where Frank flops best. No surprise. From one lock bucks to another, Frank runs pure on streams. Checks it back. Little pot control, little deception.
Check.
Check.
Frank knows now with a large degree of certainty that his king is the best hand. How to proceed is the question with his opponent drawing dead. Small bet gets the job done, third pot, nothing doing. Let's take it down.
Shot of vodka, a bottle of water.
Okay. Jack and Coke.
What you having?
Jack and Coke.
Jack and Coke? Nice. I can't drink the brown stuff anymore. Too many hangovers. He said he got you?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Drinks flowing
It's a weird
for
level.
2/3 of our remaining players. Frank Funaro sitting glassless in the corner on top of the counts. Vodka and whiskey for the other two.
Oh, yeah.
Celebration already happening.
2 fold, 5 fold.
Hey,
Thank you.
Anyone else feels like this is a
Is there a
movie
break after this level? Or
where
can
we
go
already know the ending, it's just how we get there?
Oh, 80 minutes. Okay.
if you
need your
need one, we could do it. If you really need
Oh,
one.
no. As far as biologically, no, I'm good. Yeah. I was going to have a snack with my alcohol. So this is my spot. But I moved because so I can see.
All in?
Wow, suited 10-9, let's rip it. Put the pressure on Yong, collect more chips. Queen 9, not good enough, deemed by Yong, and Frank picks up more. A masterclass in final table pressure.
Yeah.
with just under 15
Good
million
dealer.
in play. Every time Frank
Oh, I
picks
gotta
up
put up the
200K with moves like that, that's big.
You need a lot of blue chips for this level. Yeah. I have only a few left. Blue chips are for winners. Am I short? I'm short. I'm short. I'm still like I'm saying. I'm not that smart.
Yeah, that was 61.24. Oh, shoot.
All in.
Player one, all in.
Frank raises the 6-5 ball from the button, electing not to go all in, of course, because Nick's stack is still in play. But this time, Yong makes the aggression, takes the aggressive route with 10-9 suited and gets the folds from a wide range. Good job. Need to take some stands here. Can't fold your way to the money when you're the short stack. V-pips are going to be high when you're playing three-handed. 42, 43, 46, or 42, 42, 46 across the board. Gotta play flops. These are the type of hands that determine final tables. You're just going to have trash so often when you're shorthanded.
3 million, 4 million.
8-6 off, Jack 3 off, etc. The more comfortable you are navigating weak holdings in wide range configurations, the more success you're going to find in final tables.
Is that red in 20?
I have no idea. I
Red?
think so. I think so. Let me check.
I feel like you have about 2 million chips.
Yeah. No, 2.5.
Oh, he's got more than that.
Help me, dealer. I
What?
need your help. I need dealer's help.
I just want the numbers posted above your head on the screen so I can say it in blind.
Frank with the Queen 9
that's
suited.
20
My
big
bet
blinds,
is
I
this is going in.
Is that a call?
Chooses to call, okay. Queen 9 has a lot of visibility post flop, not the worst thing to have to play out of position. Of course, not our ideal board here. We still have the best hand, but really hard to know that. Gutter and 2 live cards for Yong, checks it back. No, our graphics say check, but that's not true. He's reaching for chips, going to put out a bet. This makes sense. 7-4-3, a great board for a check back in the big blind. But Frank going nowhere for this sizing. Let's see a turn. I've got backdoor clubs. I've got 2 overs. King, somewhat of a blank, perhaps could be perceived as a scare card for Yong, but really not a lot of that in Frank's range. Would love to see a double barrel here with 8 high. He agrees. Quick fold from Frank. Excellent job,
good.
well done.
I flopped it.
And
Did you join?
a lie. Sure you did.
Sexy.
Maybe going for some fold equity in the future.
is a good turn.
Let's go again, if you don't mind. Thank you, buddy. A good turn for the king, huh?
Let me just fold.
Oh, yeah. Right.
If you're in the area thinking about coming down, there's multiple events running every day, culminating in the $3,500 Borgata Winter Poker Open Championship. That starts on January 12th. This series runs all the way through the 17th. Couple of reasonable hands here between Frank and Yong. The king 10 off, not a bad bluff candidate, but no, just lets it go, and good timing again to choose the fold option as Frank has the ace queen and takes it down. As I was saying, today is January 8th. We've got several more final tables coming to you in the live stream, including tomorrow, our Mirror Mystery Bounty, as we get a look at our payouts. Mirror Mystery Bounty tomorrow. Almighty Million final table on the 11th. Borgata WPO Championship towards the end on the 16th. Yeah, but we got mixed games. Tomorrow, for example, we've got the 8-game mix. We got the PLO on Friday. We've got the toe on Saturday. In addition to events like the 6-Max, the Almighty Million, $400 for $1 million guaranteed. Come down to Borgata, find your way to one of these final tables, make some money. Back to the action. Yong opens up king 10 off. 3-bet from queen 10 suited, and Nick trying to get worse 10s to fold is one of the things we're trying to accomplish, and that's exactly what we do. Or better 10s to fold, apologize. King 10 hits the muck, and that's a big takedown.
No, I played that
for Nick Devenezia.
Six, 4s.
Do you know if there, do you know if there are commentators?
Yeah.
There are commentators?
Five,
Are they in the room?
8.
Sir,
9.25.
if you win, do you want to sell me the computer?
9.25.
There are commentators, that's me.
You don't get the computer. That was a joke.
You do.
He was trolling us. He was totally trolling us. There's no
Trolling
way
who?
you get the computer.
Well, that's
The
part of
computer's
it.
being used as part of this operation.
No, I'm saying if you win, I'll pay for your.
No one's going to get the computer. The computer stays with the operation.
You're wrong.
He was trolling us.
Incorrect.
Oh, it's real. It's real.
I
part of
don't
the
think
prize
so.
pool.
It's a computer for sports betting?
For gaming.
Oh, I don't game.
So I'm asking you, if you win it, I'll buy it off you.
I'm going to raise this hand. No promises on the computer. 320.
Nick calling out the computer. There's no way that's a part of this prize pool. They'd never give that to us. You don't know how generous these people are, Nick. You certainly can win that computer. All you got to do is take this thing down. That gaming laptop from BetMGM Poker added on to the prize pool for first place in addition to that $35,000 plus. 3 real hands for all 3 of our remaining opponents. Suited ace opens it up. Frank calls with the dominated clubs, and Yong calls with the king jack suited. Let's see an interesting board. Oh boy, a little something for everyone and a royal flush draw for Yong. Top pair for Nick.
Check.
Double gutter for Frank. What a turn incoming. Who will it hit? Yong makes the flush, locks up the hand. After the check around on the turn, what are we thinking here? We've got the nuts. And all of our opponents are checking. Come on. How do we get more chips in the middle? A royal flush. Yong Kwon makes a royal flush on the final table of the BetMGM hybrid online event. So hard to get value with a royal. What can our opponents possibly have? The answer is top pair and 2 pair, but there's 4 hearts on the board, and we've got all the hearts. Are you kidding me? We see a royal flush?
I'm out. No heart.
Fold, fold. Do we show it? We don't show it? Come on.
2 black kings. What are you gonna do?
The kings?
2 black kings. Yeah. What are you gonna
Thank
do?
you.
Lies all around. How do we not show it? I've made 4 royal flushes in my life in live poker, and I've
you go
showed it
again?
every single time. I feel like it's an unwritten rule in
Of
poker.
course.
Oh,
Amazing.
yeah.
What do you
Yeah,
expect?
yeah.
His opponent's none the wiser. Nobody knows. A silent muck from Yong Kwon. We see you.
Yes.
The royal takes it down. Oh, some energy, some excitement here. Might have been an inconsequential pot in the grand scheme of things, but you love to see a royal on stream. Michael Bomerwald in the chat. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you being here. What a crusher. If you see Mike Bomerwald at your table, just ask to unregister the tournament because you're in trouble. Frank Funaro back in the mix, opening up the King 10 suited, no, offsuit on the dealer button.
I get to saying too much. Too much.
Jack 5, not a hand you want to get repeatedly in a big spot at the final table, but easy to play, lets it go. Frank takes it down. Three levels of action here at Borgata. We're down in the basement, the streaming setup, in the area they kind of reserve for the mixed games. Then there's action up in the main area of the poker room. Lots of tables in there for tournaments. Additionally, the conference center on the 3rd level opened up for tournaments. This is the place to be. When you have 3, 4, 5, 6 events running on the same day, you need lots of space, and they know that, and they're prepared for it.
Casey.
You can move that closer to you. I just needed it out of the shot, so that's fine.
Oh, okay.
If they're giving it away, why do they have it plugged in? No, I think you guys are trolling me now.
No, it's on the website. So if you win, how much do you want me to pay you?
What's it worth?
4,000.
Oh shit, I let it go for $1,000.
Oh, I'll buy it off you for 1,000 cash.
Yeah, but I'm not winning. You're gonna have to buy it from somebody else.
If you win.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to buy it from somebody else.
More?
That's the
7,000.
best deal that Yong will ever make.
Sounds like a steep price.
gets a 4K computer for 1K unofficially if Nick
'Cause I
takes
need a
this thing
computer,
down.
you know. Time's tough.
275.
But the self-deprecating Nick says, I am not winning this thing, even though he sits near the top of the counts. Suited Queen Jack opens up the button, and Frank has a King
900.
10. Opts for the 3-bet.
I was just saying I can call up to 6, but now I got to think about it.
Lots of,
Well, once I say that, it's probably a fold.
I was about to say, honest information from Nick.
All right.
When you raise to 275, if you get 3-bet, it's going to be bigger than 600,000. Just throws away the very pretty Queen Jack suited. Lets Frank take that one down uncontested.
Blue, please.
Frank's in a great spot. It feels like when he gets a lot of action, it's very clear that his opponents are strong. These mediocre hands, or hands even as pretty as Queen Jack on the button, just content to fold. That allows a chip leader to do kind of take his free license at the final table and just run everybody over. Speaking of, ace or Jack 4 suited opens up the button but runs into an offsuit ace from Yong. This is the situation I'm talking about. We can just put chips in consistently, repetitively, grind down our opponents, and then when we face strong resistance, we know to get out of the way.
All in.
Two folds. Three folds.
There's our remaining 3 players. Frank has separated from the pack with 58 bigs, in a great position to close this one out, but still plenty to work with for the other 2. Jack makes a great point. Ari in there says that the Funaro brothers are like the Kelsey brothers of poker. I was here last year commentating when Frank's brother, Nick Funaro, won this thing last year. Not a lot of sibling poker players in the poker world. I can name probably 5 or 6, and the Funaro brothers are 2 of the best, especially up-and-comers, younger sibling pair that dominate this game. And when I say he won this thing, not the specific event, it was the kickoff event, I believe. The opener, January of 2024. I think he took home somewhere around $420,000. Shout out to Dan and the South Boonton Field Club. A dozen of you rooting for our boy Frank. And rooting for our boy Nick, apologies. Nick, lots of love in the chat. Frank's second pair on the 2-ace board. Got to feel good about his 9. Now corrected, good about his 10. Interesting spot. Our opponent has shown weakness on
425.
the turn.
3 bets, 420.
We had a pair on the turn. We have a better pair on the river. I don't think we're ever getting another 10 to fold. Honestly, be curious what Frank is targeting here. Maybe the king highs in Yong's range. But yeah, when we check to call the flop, probably we have at least a pair of some sorts on the ace-9
I was going to
deuce.
tell her. It was going so fast. I'm freaking starving.
Yeah.
Frank now
Yeah, I try to
has
have a nice
more
long
than
squeeze.
both of his opponents combined.
Where?
At Caesars, at Ramsey, Gordon Ramsay. No good. Like this hand. I don't think I showed it to the card reader. Be funny if I tried to go all in after I did that, right? No.
Suited Jack-7 for Frank in the small blind after a tight Queen-10 fold on the button. Almost gives the impression that Young and Nick are kind of
380.
wanting to find that ladder, and Frank happy to oblige by chipping away at them. 10-8 off from Yong. Just lets it go to the 3.2x sizing from Frank. Having his way at this final table.
Blue chips, please. Thank you.
64 bigs, Nintendo 64 for FrankyFunk Funaro. Expounding his lead from Nick Devenezia and Yong Kwon. Jack-8 off, yes please. I'm gonna raise the button. This time though, two pretty above average hands in his opponent's hands. Young with Queen-9 suited, Nick with Ace-Jack of the same suit. If either of them get aggressive here, things could get interesting.
All in.
Oh boy, the jam from Young, and Nick has Ace-Jack suited right behind him. I think most people go with this in this spot, but Nick has shown propensity for patience in tight folds. The answer is no, he does not have you covered. You would not be at risk against Yong. Of course, Nick behind you, but that is a very wide range, who is unlikely to be ahead of Ace-Jack. Nick, you can take matters into your own hands here. You hear him say 6-1, half another to the other, kind of ambivalent.
Got 390 over there. I got 1, 2.
2 million.
I'm sorry, say it again?
2,095,000.
Oh, 2 million flat.
No.
3,095,000.
3,095 flat. Okay, it's my responsibility to know, but thank you.
Looks like our chip counts might be slightly off. He has just over 3 million instead of the 2.84 on screen.
But I'm all in as well.
There we go. Nick does go with it. Frank, of course,
Okay.
out of the way
I have
quickly,
diamonds
and
as
it's
well.
ace-jack against queen-9. Both of Yong's cards live, but the suits are dominated, and Nick
it
holds
comes.
about
When it
two-thirds
comes,
of
it
the
comes.
equity in this all-important pot. Sort of basically playing for second place with how big this pot is. 10 high flop does no good for anyone. Backdoor straight obviously presents itself for Young, but that's thin.
Jesus.
And 8 of diamonds makes the
Jack?
flush for Nick. But there
Jack
is
of diamonds.
one
It's
out in the deck. Not
I
there.
think the
G.
He did make a royal flush, couldn't make the straight flush, and Nick makes the
it's
nuts.
fierce, man. But I knew he was opening light, and you were taking advantage.
$1,000 for the computer.
So, okay, all right. It's not. I'm saying it's not impossible that I make this happen.
Can I go to the
But
bathroom?
Immediate negotiations.
Okay.
A third place
Yeah, I
finish
know
for
you
Young.
for
Keun
that.
Kwon takes home just under $17,000. Two players
15-minute
remain
break?
in a very even heads-up
Thanks.
match. Frank Funaro against Nicholas Devenezia. We're
went
playing
right.
for it all. When we come back, as we're heading on a 15-minute break, stay with
It
us.
said, yeah, for 10, 15
We'll be
minutes.
back in 15 minutes to see which one of
Yeah,
these
you
two
friends
players
with your
takes
guy,
home the
though, right?
$35,000
No
and that
problem.
sexy BetMGM computer. We'll see you shortly.
Tap into BetMGM Casino, and you're entering a huge library full of exclusive games. Games you won't find anywhere else. Looking for jackpots? Right this way. You'll always find someone ready to give you a hand. Or some dice. Your favorite game is waiting for you. On America's #1 online casino.
Oh, what's up? You watching the game? Or maybe the one later? Put a little BetMGM action on it, and now any game becomes the game. When you got overs and unders, you're in it every time they throw the ball, kick the ball, dribble the ball. Maybe it's not even a ball.
Who needs a ball?
Now that bet's got you watching every inning, half, round, period, set, hole, a lap. Right from the edge of your seat.
Dude, did you know BetMGM has responsible gambling tools so you don't get carried away?
I never get carried away. Well, there were the bobbleheads. And the playoff beer.
Chili's ready!
Well, those tools could really help.
Don't forget about the backyard rink.
Yeah, these tools are pretty great.
BetMGM is committed to making gambling safe and fun with responsible gambling tools, so you don't get carried away.
Tap into BetMGM Casino, and you're entering a huge library full of exclusive games. Games you won't find anywhere else. Looking for jackpots? Right this way. You'll always find someone ready to give you a hand. Or some dice. Your favorite game is waiting for you. On BetMGM Casino.
Discover BetMGM Casino and leap into a world filled with all your favorite casino games. Plus exclusive ones you can't find anywhere else. And progressive jackpots that keep growing. All of it right at your fingertips. BetMGM Casino. Start your adventure today.
There are some feelings you can get with any sportsbook.
The highs! No.
The no-no-nos.
The O-O-O's. Now, what you want to do with this?
But the feeling that no matter what, you're taken care of.
Oh, I just earned a hotel suite.
You only get that here at the sportsbook Born in Vegas, where they know how to treat you right.
Who you talking to, Jamie Foxx?
Bonus bets, exclusive offers, real-world rewards. BetMGM. Download and bet today.
At BetMGM, everyone gets a welcome offer. So whether you're courtside trying to hit the over,
Or up here trying to hit the under. Or hitting that win with your crew. Oh, yeah, see, defense. All the way up here with a same-game parlay. Yeah!
BetMGM's got your back. Get your welcome offer and play with the sportsbook born in Vegas.
Oh, this easy. Really?
Get up to a $1,500 new customer offer and bonus bets when you sign up now. BetMGM. Download and bet today. BetMGM Casino has the most exciting live dealer tables. So when you want the magic of Vegas, you get the magic of Vegas. All the excitement of a player's paradise with live dealer blackjack, roulette, craps, baccarat, and more. Anytime, anywhere.
I never split nines.
Download and get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 on the house. Only from the casino born in Vegas.
On BetMGM Casino, there are so many jackpots that you never know when one will go in. So many jackpots. So many jackpots.
BetMGM Casino. Jackpots. So many.
Download to get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 on the house. BetMGM Casino.
Tap into BetMGM Casino, and you're entering a huge library full of exclusive games. Games you won't find anywhere else. Looking for jackpots? Right this way. You'll always find someone ready to give you a hand. Or some dice. Your favorite game is waiting for you. On America's #1 online casino.
Oh, what's up? You watching the game? Or maybe the one later. Put a little BetMGM action on it, and now any game becomes the game. When you got overs and unders, you're in it every time they throw the ball, kick the ball, dribble the ball. Maybe it's not even a ball.
Who needs a ball?
Now that bet's got you watching every inning, half, round, period, set, hole, a lap. Right from the edge of your seat.
Dude, did you know BetMGM has responsible gambling tools so you don't get carried away?
I never get carried away. Well, there were the bobbleheads. And the playoff beer.
Chili's ready.
Well, those tools could really help.
Don't forget about the backyard rink.
Yeah, these tools are pretty great.
BetMGM is committed to making gambling safe and fun with responsible gambling tools, so you don't get carried away.
Tap into BetMGM Casino, and you're entering a huge library full of exclusive games. Games you won't find anywhere else. Looking for jackpots? Right this way. You'll always find someone ready to give you a hand. Or some dice. Your favorite game is waiting for you. On BetMGM Casino.
Discover BetMGM Casino and leap into a world filled with all your favorite casino games. Plus exclusive ones you can't find anywhere else. And progressive jackpots that keep growing. All of it right at your fingertips. BetMGM Casino. Start your adventure today
There are some feelings you can get with any sports book.
The highs! No. The no-no-nos. The O-O-O's. Now, what you want to do with this?
But the feeling that no matter what, you're taken care of.
Oh, I just earned a hotel suite.
You only get that here at the sportsbook Born in Vegas, where they know how to treat you right.
Who you talking to, Jamie Foxx?
Bonus bets, exclusive offers, real-world rewards. BetMGM. Download and bet today.
At BetMGM, everyone gets a welcome offer. So whether you're courtside trying to hit the over
Or up here trying to hit the under. Or hitting that win with your crew. Oh, yeah, the defense. All the way up here with a same-game parlay. Yeah!
BetMGM's got your back. Get your welcome offer and play with the sportsbook Born in Vegas.
Oh, this easy. Really?
Get up to a $1,500 new customer offer and bonus bets when you sign up now. BetMGM. Download and bet today. BetMGM Casino has the most exciting live dealer tables. So when you want the magic of Vegas, you get the magic of Vegas. All the excitement of a player's paradise with live dealer blackjack, roulette, craps, baccarat, and more. Anytime, anywhere.
I never split nines.
Download and get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 on the house, only from the casino Born in Vegas.
On BetMGM Casino, there are so many jackpots that you never know when one will go in. So many jackpots. So many jackpots. BetMGM Casino. Jackpots. So many.
Download to get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 on the house. BetMGM Casino.
Tap into BetMGM Casino, and you're entering a huge library full of exclusive games. Games you won't find anywhere else. Looking for jackpots? Right this way. You'll always find someone ready to give you a hand. Or some dice. Your favorite game is waiting for you. On America's #1 online casino.
Oh, what's up? You watching the game? Or maybe the one later. Put a little BetMGM action on it, and now any game becomes the game. When you got overs and unders, you're in it every time they throw the ball, kick the ball, dribble the ball. Maybe it's not even a ball.
Who needs a ball?
Now that bet's got you watching every inning, half, round, period, set, hole, a lap. Right from the edge of your seat.
Tap into BetMGM Casino, and you're entering a huge library full of exclusive games. Games you won't find anywhere else. Looking for jackpots? Right this way. You'll always find someone ready to give you a hand. Or some dice. Your favorite game is waiting for you. On BetMGM Casino.
There are some feelings you can get with any sportsbook.
The highs! No.
the no-no-nos. Oh! The O-O-O's. Now, what you want to do with this? But the feeling that no matter what, you're taken care of. Oh, I just earned a hotel suite. You only get that here at the sportsbook Born in Vegas, where they know how to treat you right. Who you talking to, Jamie Foxx?
Bonus bets, exclusive offers, real-world rewards. BetMGM. Download and bet today.
On BetMGM Casino, there are so many jackpots that you never know when one will go. So many jackpots. So many jackpots. BetMGM Casino. Jackpots. So many.
Download to get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000, plus $25 on the house. BetMGM Casino.
Doing this. So I don't
Congratulations.
play it often, no. But thank you.
Yeah, they do a lot of those steps, satellites. They're good.
Welcome back
At
to
a certain
Heads Up
moment,
Play.
I would have been happy with 20th.
Two players
Certain moment,
remaining. Nicholas
you know,
Devenezia
over $10.
takes on Frank Funaro here at the BetMGM Online Hybrid Final Table.
Good luck, everybody.
This is like directly in my view of him too. Like I'm this is like covering his stack.
Yeah.
Can we just like straighten this out? He's literally like blocking his stack from my line of sight.
Both ways. Which one is my card reader?
Perfect.
Is it here?
Thank you.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you, man.
Thank you. It was like literally like.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like
A little
eventually we're gonna need to
reorganizing
know
of the
these
hardware.
Thanks.
We're heads up with two very even stacks. Oh yeah, even more even than we did have. 7.46 against 7.44. We're at the 120K
240.
big blind level. You heard the talk there coming back from break. This was a 1K buy-in, I believe. And Nick satellited in on a $10 ticket. Stepped his way up via satellites to a 1K buy-in and made it to the final table. Frank, of course, the crusher who plays these stakes on a regular basis. But it's Nick here turning the pair
300.
and betting out. The first hand of Heads Up Play. Here we go. Frank lets it go, gives up the chip lead, and Nick, the $10 satellite entrant, wins the first hand of Heads Up Play. $35,000 up top.
I hate this blind level with the 120. It's stupid.
Yeah, it'll be a little annoying. I'll raise even numbers.
Okay, yeah. What's the next?
160, even more annoying.
Jesus. All right.
Much easier when it's online. I feel like they'll make it work for this big payday.
Two raise, 250.
Double F puts in the raise.
Call 250.
Queen 9 off. Nick with a call, but we need to read his cards.
Snap those by accident. Sorry, guys.
Heads up. Thank you.
Offsuit ace deuce. Advantage Frank, who flops the straight on the
Check.
king jack 10. No flush draws present.
Two bets, 400.
Frank comes out with a bet of 2/3 pot, but just gets a fold. That is not what Frank wanted to see after flopping the second nuts. the straight. No action. Takes down the pot, and we have exactly even
So that king on
stacks.
the river, I got 100 text messages saying bink, bink. You know?
It was a bink.
Like bink? Yeah, totally.
Standard enough.
Standard though, right? That was standard. That hand was totally standard.
You get broke on the flop too. It doesn't matter. Right? I mean, you just no matter what happened, it was gonna get in.
Yeah.
Referencing a hand played earlier
Yeah, 10s against kings. We could have shipped it pre-flop and had the same run out.
where Nick's opponent,
250.
Calvin Kelleher, flopped middle set with his pocket tens. Got it in on the turn. And Nick drilled the 2-out king for a better set on the river to find us here.
Two checks.
This is a confrontation. Nick has second pair, very
200.
strong heads up, but Frank has the second nut flush draw and 1 over to the board. A 1/3 pot bet from Nick.
2 calls. Heads up.
A gutter ball presents itself for Nick in case his 8
Check it.
was no good. But a free card for Frank for the river, which comes a queen of diamonds. A horrible bluff card for Frank. Makes
400.
Nick feel better about his 8, and he will go for value. A thin value bet on the river from the $10 qualifier. This is really interesting, though, because Frank is not posturing. The bet from Nick is interesting because it's a capped range. A queen really wouldn't check the turn back very often. So Frank had nefarious thoughts, but in this case, just lays it down, doesn't want to risk too many of his chips in a marginal spot. Sends the pot over to Nick.
Surprised he didn't color us up.
Lavin?
I'm surprised he didn't color us up. It's just a lot of chips to manage.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Yep, we're good. I was in the big one.
Yeah.
Two calls. Raise 250. Raise 250. Excuse me.
Call 250.
1 calls. 250. Heads up.
Check.
1 check. 2 checks.
Frank will check back, second pair in the gutter. Queen of clubs, no good for Nick's ace high.
Call. 250? Call.
Wow, a quick call from the ace high, which is no good, drawing to only 3 outs. King, Frank doesn't love to see it. I imagine this goes check, check most of the time, unless Nick wants to make a move here.
$700.
He does, look at this. Decides that he needs to turn this ace high into a bluff to get Frank to fold a pair. It's exactly the situation, and goes for the bet. Puts 70% pot in the middle. Communicating, I have you being Frank, let that 7 go, let that 9 go. You don't have a king, you don't have a queen. How can you call? Frank, though, a very adept player. Not one to give up easily.
Got there.
Frank lets it go, and Nick says, got there.
I don't know about that one.
Say?
I don't know about that one.
That one you don't know about,
You
right?
had it?
Yeah.
You had it.
Yeah.
I think Nick is really enjoying this. Lots of commentary.
I'm known to lie about my hands. That's kind of my thing.
That doesn't make you feel.
I was in a tough spot.
Frank feel good.
Sure. I'm making an easy spot this time. Okay. Like that. My God, we have so many chips.
Facts. It's an interesting spot at a final table and a heads-up spot when you're Frank Funaro with millions in earnings. You paid 100 times more than your opponent did to enter this this tournament, and here you are, second in chips to the man who's bluffing you with ace high. Fairly deep.
Call 250.
And heading to a flop. Top pair for Frank.
Check.
One over card. Backdoor straight draw for Nick.
One check.
We're definitely going to see a bet from Frank. The only question is how much. Into 620K. He goes 200, 1/3 pots.
Hard to make a pair.
Truth again. King high finds the muck.
If you want to use this box, you can.
Yeah, that's probably a little easier. Thank you.
That's what I thought. I'm 60. Yeah.
Interesting combination we're seeing from Nick Devenezia. Hand like
A
king
defender
there
and
against a third pot bet oftentimes will continue as it's good, but we're seeing that he's not really willing to make it so difficult on himself by taking passive lines with weak holdings. Instead, finds those rare spots like he did there with the ace high to turn it into a bluff. So keeping Frank on his toes, not making it easy for him in this heads-up match thus far. And now we have two very strong hands heads up. Ace 10 versus 6-6. There is a non-zero chance that we see lots of chips go into the middle of this pot.
875.
Starting with a 3-bet from Frank's pocket sixes. Nick dictates how big this pot's going to get.
All right, just bear with me. Call 875.
Decides on a call. And now the flop, the poker gods dictate how big this pot is going to get. Frank with a slight mathematical advantage, but out of position and hard to improve. And the ace high board, 3 overcards to Frank's pair is not what he was hoping to see. I like this check from Frank. Let's not bleed more chips unnecessarily, even though an ace high board is pretty good for our range. When our opponent, who has shown the ability to fold to 3-bets pretty tightly, decides to open and then call here, The ace queen 8 isn't the dream by any means to start running a bluff with the pocket sixes. Lets it go and sees more of the chips head over to Nick.
You told me you were known to lie about things.
Got it. That's like kind of my thing. Always lie.
Not the dream start for FrankyFunk, but we're plenty deep. He has plenty of experience and knows what it takes to battle back.
Call 325.
Gets to work with Jack 10 suited. We see differing strategies as Nick has pocket sixes and chooses to just call instead of 3-bet.
Check.
King high flop improves no one. But with the king clubs out there, backdoor flush, backdoor straight draws, 2 overs to the bottom 2 cards. Frank continues and Nick will as well. Ace of diamonds brings in one of those necessary cards for the backdoor straight for Frank. Also a scare card to most of Nick's range. Will Frank put the pedal down with a turn bet? Maybe somewhere around $1 million to put some pressure on.
Two bets, 500.
Smaller. Doesn't go as polar as I expected. Just 500,000. Probably, if Frank's doing it, probably fine. Risk less on his bluffs like he did in that situation. And gets the folds. Trading blows, these two. Back and forth we go.
160, 160.
Okay, gotcha. 80, like this.
For Nick, this has got to be the dream. He already revealed here on stream that he got into this tournament for $10.
340.
What a dream. Utilizing the BetMGM poker platforms, finds his way into a final table in a big spot, has already turned $10 into at least $24,000 with the potential for 35K.
1.15.
Why so much?
2 raise,
1.15 over 340.
But he has to get through Frank Funaro,
Forgetting how many chips I have. All right.
who's 3-betting the king 6 off in his face.
4 million, 5 million, 6 million. I guess I got about 7 million. I made it 340, 1.15. All right, fold.
Lets the suited 6-5 pretty hand go, and definitely good timing to do so as he was up against a better 6. Frank picks up some more, claws his way back toward the top of the counts. We are playing, of course, the 160 big blind level now. 160,000 big blind level.
Two raise, 325, 325.
I'm seeing a lot of Devenezias in the chat. Brothers, mothers, sisters, fathers. Not sure who all these Devenezias are, but they share the last name, and we're happy you're here rooting on your family. Nick's got his work cut out for him, but when you flop trip 4s, things get a little easier.
2 bets, 225.
A reasonable continuation bet from Funaro. A quick call from Nick. on a very dry board. I think this likely goes check, check. When Frank gets called on this flop, it has to be worrisome for his king high.
Two checks.
He agrees. He does not want to see a king or an 8. Doesn't come, just king high for Frank. A sip of the water for Nick. Checks it over.
I have a 4 in my hand, believe it or not, with the queen. Yeah. I was calling, by the way. You think?
I like this guy. Make poker fun again. Nick Devenezia is enjoying his time here at this final table. Two suited hands go to war.
325.
One raise, 325.
Just above the min and gets a call from Frank. Let's go to battle. Not a lot of shared flops with these two hands.
Two checks.
A pair for Nick, king high for Frank. A quick bet from Nick with bottom pair.
Two folds.
And a quick fold from Frank. Chips away at Frank Funaro, who can't seem to make the hands to fight back against the $10 satellite qualifier.
Big draw.
180, right on.
Big hands here. King 10 suited from Frank and pocket 10s for Nick.
How much? 3 1/4 you said? 325. I'm gonna re-raise. I'm gonna re-raise to 1.1 million.
One raises, 1,100,000.
A very quick raise from Nick. As soon as he looked at his cards, he says, I'm gonna raise. Frank might read into that. Might think that's some strength. But the king 10 suited, 40% of a royal flush, just too strong to let go in position.
Heads up.
And Frank's in bad shape, but 36% equity heading to a flop. Who am I kidding? Frank flops the second nut flush. Nick almost dead, even though he has a pair, a gutter.
1,200,000.
And the betting lead just puts 1.2 million into the void, likely never to be seen again. Likely to see just a call from Frank with this much of the board locked up.
Two calls.
Hoping his opponent continues on further streets. Nick does not want to see an offsuit 10 or 9.
Heads up.
But instead the deuce of diamonds that likely lets Nick get away from this, losing no more chips.
Two checks. Heads up.
Check.
One check.
It does check through the turn. And Frank has to go for some value now. With nearly 5 million in the pot, how much does he seek?
1.5.
I'm guessing small, and that's true. A 30% pot.
I knew that was coming. 1.5.
1,500,000.
I knew that was coming. Definitely 1.5. That's a small bet. What do you got left? Okay, I see. Thank you. It's about half your chips. Thank you. That's a big pot. That's a big pot. I can't do it. All right, you win. Can't do it.
A prudent fold from Nick. Indeed a big pot. You had the best of it pre, but an unfortunate flop gives Frank
Oh yeah, it's my dealer right here.
a very strong hand.
King on the river, right?
Worthy of the chip lead, and Frank is back in front.
I had 2 black cards. I had a pair. You broke aces. Nice hand.
You're known to lie about your hands.
You cracked aces, buddy. Good job.
Devenezia just can't help himself. You had a strong hand. It wasn't aces, but for some reason you feel the need in the line said you had aces.
Here. Yeah, pitching them here. Yeah, I got it. It's 80, right?
We've got Benjamin, Josh, John, Marie, all the Devenezias in the chat saying there's more Devenezias than chips. Not a fan of that flop. I'm assuming a tournament-changing flush for Frank and more work for Nick now.
Oh, okay. Ship me back a little bit. Thank you. I'm behind the times. How much is it? Made it 3 1/4. Okay. Take this hand off.
Frank picks up another one. There's what they're playing for, 35,000 and change for Frank. Or for first place, apologies. Have no idea who's going to win this thing.
Okay.
But Frank's in first place on the counts.
All in.
35,000. But Nick's ripping the ace-10 off. Takes
I
it
didn't
down.
expect that.
Hey, man, I told you.
35,000 for first, along with that BetMGM supercomputer to help these online grinders.
How many times you get aces?
So sick, though. It's so sick. I get aces and kings constantly. You saw me play online.
Only one tournament.
True story.
Two raises, 325.
Frank with the ace, good enough to open it up.
Call 325.
Nick with the one gapper comes along for the ride. Bottom pair for Frank, gutter ball for
Check.
Nick.
225.
225 for Frank. Call or raise spot, I think, for Nick. How aggressive does he want to be with this
800.
equity? A raise, he chooses 800,000 of his 6 million goes into the middle. Frank with the bottom pair, a slightly awkward spot here. Neither player has a diamond. Probably makes Frank more inclined to call, since it's more likely that Nick has a flush draw. But now,
2 million.
when the 10 of diamonds hits and he faces additional aggression, he just lets it go. And back we are to basically even stacks, like nothing changed from the start of this heads-up match. That's not an easy, quick turn follow-up bet.
Not a good turn.
Yeah, had to bet it.
But Nick found it
King
and
Jack?
was rewarded.
If I said yes, I'd be lying.
I don't know.
So I'll say yes, King Jack.
Okay. Fair enough.
Did I make it too small? Hang on, a little bit more. I got you. Walk in the park this time. Walk in the park.
I was curious how Nick would treat the bottom of his range heads up on the button, and he handles it with a fold. Indicative, perhaps, of how we're going to see the rest of this go.
Yeah. This time I got it. 160. I know. Sorry, guys, for the slowness.
Joker Jake wants to see
So
more
I'll have to
lead
keep track.
changes. It is already changed at least 3 times. But he wants more blood, more lead changes, roller coaster.
2 raises, 325.
I think you just got your wish because Frank likely, I don't know, let's see. Nick started his hand in the lead, so.
All in.
Nick with the ace queen shoves.
Yeah, I can't get value out of my hands.
Get out of my pot, he says, and maintains the lead.
I might start limping.
Right? Limp a monster.
You're playing.
Trap City. That was a good one, though. That was a top 10 hand right there. That was a top 10.
Was it a Phil Hellmuth top 10 hand?
Top 10. Who's that?
He used to have this thing. It was like Phil Hellmuth's top 10 hands.
Oh, that's awesome.
But they weren't like
They were in good.
100% right.
Yeah, that's so funny.
I don't know. It's like a long time.
He's the funnest guy to troll. I've met him. I've played against him. He's the funnest guy to troll, for sure. Really? All right, I'm gonna call 160. See what happens.
Nick adopts the limping strategy that Frank was just talking about. Suited, queen on the button, and Frank has the ace.
$650.
It's triggering. It's triggering to get limped on. All right. How much? 650? Do I have that kind of hand? 650? It's not that much. 650. 650.
You have to love the internal dialogue expressed externally for all of us to enjoy from Nick Devenezia.
Good.
Even though he lies about the hands that he has, everything else he says is pretty much honest. How he feels,
160.
what he's supposed to do in any certain spots.
All right. You move all in. Like,
Yeah, right?
yeah. I can just keep the pot smaller.
I'll take a flop with this one.
There we go.
As is.
Limped pots. Frank in position with the worst
Sometimes
hand.
it's okay just take a flop.
Yeah.
Nick does flop best, but it's only
I'm
bottom
gonna check.
pair on a monotone board.
160.
Got a call.
Gotta call. Again, not lying. I have a pair, heads up. I have to call, but doesn't love it. Now, though.
Check.
One check.
Trips. This is the kind of thing where little comments make a big difference. If Nick's telling the truth and he says, gotta call, deuce is strongly in that range, and now Nick has a full house. Unfortunately for him, Frank has absolutely nothing.
4 1/4.
One bet's 425. Two folds.
Absolute monster.
For once, we're not lying. But again, the only time Nick lies is when he says
The only way I'm
exactly
gonna
what
win
his
is
hand
best
was.
handing you, Frank. I already know that. So I got to run like Ryan Reese to get this shit done. If I don't run like Ryan Reese, heads up, I'm not winning this thing. So come on, baby. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? Do you ever watch the video of him when he made?
I think I remember some of the final table. I don't remember heads up.
He ran like a god.
You got to run good heads up.
That other player had no chance. I got to run like Ryan Reese. I was full that hand, believe it or not.
Full?
I was full. From 0 to hero. 360.
One raises 360.
Shout out Ryan Reese, main event champion.
Two balls.
Played against him many times. Can confirm, runs like God. Now though, Frank Funaro with
check.
bottom pair, Nick with a gutter ball, checks behind with his ace high and sees a 10 on the turn, which keeps Frank in the lead.
Two checks.
$650.
One bet's 650.
A delayed continuation bet from Nick with his 1 over, ace high. Gutter ball to the bottom end of the straight, but Frank has a 4. What Nick is really saying with this bet is that he has a 10. He doesn't.
Two checks.
But any hopes of Nick winning this pot just went out the window because Frank rivers 2 pair and will not be
Show me no
folding.
pair.
Nah, I got multiple.
You show me 2 pair, you're gonna be so good here. Oh man, you were already good. I was drawn. You was already good. But if you had no pair, I had it.
Ace king of hearts, I guess.
No. Worse.
You said no pair. You had it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think you got a better ace than me, right?
Yeah.
How you have a better ace than me?
I know. I got you.
All right.
I got you.
An honest poker player. Sometimes.
160.
I got you right here, like that. Okay, 160. The toe level, 160. All right. You just keep telling me.
I'm going to push back against I am the poker player in the YouTube chat. Kind of gushing over Nick here. Loving the commentary. Loving the entertainment.
Get back to working on that posture.
Both
My
players
back hurts.
demonstrating
Just a call.
a lot of comfort battling over
Where's the
these
massage girl? She never comes down here to the final table.
pots. Get this man a massage. Both players flop a pair. King 7, top pair, second kicker for Nick. Bottom pair, top kicker for Frank. Look at Nick, a little deception, a little trappy.
That's 225.
Call 225.
Nick tends to act very quickly when he has the goods. And now his goods have turned into a flush draw.
Check.
Frank happy to take his equity, try to improve, but it's Nick that does so.
Check.
Wow. Frank probably just going to check this behind. Can beat all the bluffs. Likely not getting better hands to fold. Maybe we can try to get a 3 to fold, but probably not. That's it.
Good check back, brother.
Yeah.
You're so good at this, man.
No lies.
Damn. That's so crazy. Spades on the turn, everything. Hit the 7.
And once
Definitely
again,
supposed to bet there.
we're right back to even.
I got you. Remember, every time.
I will admit, two very different backgrounds coming into this final table. Nick, $10 satellite into this event, finds his way heads up against Frank Funaro.
325.
$4 million in earnings, legend on the felts. Multiple titles to his name.
Whew, I couldn't call a re-raise.
I won't say David versus Goliath necessarily, but in terms of experience and dedication to the game, there is a shift for sure between these two, but that doesn't matter. We're battling. Everyone gets 2 cards.
Come here again. Got you.
Nick with the chip advantage.
You ever heard of a slow learner? You know, online, they tell us. They take it out of our stacks, actually. They just take it out of our stacks online. Is that just a call? What's going on here? Let's take a board.
Nick with an adjustment on the fly. Looks like he's playing more of a limp strategy on the button. A reasonable thing to do when Nick is just jamming his best hands. We can set ourselves up to trap when we actually have something.
160, sure.
Frank flopped top pair. Bets gets some value from the Jack-10, but the Jack-10 now turns a gutter ball along with its 2 overs, turned into the straight. Essentially the nuts after the check back on the turn.
Bet that I have the best hand, 550.
A bet with some commentary. Frank smiles because he kind of enjoys it. This is probably more than he's used to. A little bit of table talk, a little bit of fun. Awkward spot. What did Nick call on the flop with that now is betting?
Ryan Reese.
Ryan Reese indeed. Calls with Jack-10 on the 7 deuce deuce flop. Makes the nut straight on the river.
Tough one.
Yeah. I thought it might be. I don't know if you bet it, but I thought it might be. You got it. Let me get that card. Swapped out.
We might need to move that.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. I didn't like the size of it. It was too small. Yeah. The other one was fine. It was that card. I was.
Oh, this wholesome dealer.
Inferior qualities. Yeah. Two good ones, all right, together, or two bad ones.
Nick
Keep the game
complains about the card that he had. Dealer thinks he's being genuine and asks for a deck change. He says, no. I'm just saying, get rid of that deuce. I don't want it. And we move on.
Two raises, 325.
Re-raise. And a vodka.
Re-raise and a vodka announced, whatever that means.
It's going to be $1 million on top. So $1,325,000.
One raises to 1.325.
You heard it. Queen Jack off in a tough spot. 2 paint cards against the rare, thus far, 3-bet from Nick.
Two calls.
We're not going anywhere. Let's play a big one.
Call. 1.325.
2.8 in the middle. A flip. Pocket pair versus 2 overcards. Oh boy, a set for Nick. A gutter ball for Frank.
650.
I like a small bet. Let's get some value. Maybe bring along hands just like this. Frank not going anywhere, trying to run down what is likely a strong hand from Nick. The king changes nothing. Still a 10 is what Frank needs. Nick licking his chops.
I'll check. Sorry, I'll check.
You want me to call the floor? Okay.
No, it's fine.
Not sure. Nick said something slightly confusing there. Kind of went all check. Decided amongst friends that this indeed is a check. And they check back. 3 of clubs leaves Frank with just queen high. Any attempt to run down a monster fails. Nick puts on his acting hats. Going for the Oscar. Deep size.
2.1.
And bets just over a half pot with his middle set. Don't do it, Frank. Frank. I know there's $6 million in the pot, Frank, but you've got queen high against somebody with lots of strings. Nick says set of 3s. Why? He just loves trolling.
I can shut up if you don't like it.
No, it's not.
I mean, seriously, I'm not trying.
It's better for the people watching.
I'm not trying to be annoying.
No, I don't.
I just think it's fun.
Enjoy it.
Oh, awesome.
I wouldn't have guessed 3s.
No, of course it's not a set of 3s, man. I just felt like it was the funniest thing I could say in the moment.
I like you, Nick. I appreciate you talking.
Made a really nitty fold free flop. It felt like he had kings for some reason.
I smacked the hell out of that. Sorry, man.
This guy's
Limping is
great.
pimping, that's what Madrano said. We're at 160, right?
Game 5.
Yeah, right away. Gotcha.
Limp, check to the flop. Jack 10 versus 9 deuce.
2 checks.
Check's good.
Nothing, nothing. Check, check. Quick, quick. 4 on the turn. Hits nobody, and Jack High is still ahead.
I can bet. I'm gonna bet 3 1/4.
One bet's 325.
Leaps into action, does Nick, and takes it down with Jack
Getting ran
High,
over.
also known as the best hand in this case.
I'm Ryan Reesing the shit out of you right now, brother. Where do you see this live stream? You evened it up like 4 hands ago, anyway. I mean, I got out in front of you, and then you evened it up like 4 hands ago, as far as I remember.
Yeah.
80, 160.
Nick makes my job much easier. Lots of commentary, some of it lies, some of it truth, but all of it entertaining, and he crosses the 10 million mark for the first time in this tournament.
Two calls.
Yeah, let's take a board.
Frank with the dominating
on me.
ace.
Check.
Nothing doing for Nick on the Jack,
160.
Jack deuce.
Man, I always
One
check
big
these
blind
paired
bet.
boards, you know?
Good strategy.
Yeah. Whatever you got is fun. I got nothing. Oh yeah, way up, way up.
At least that.
Yeah. Limping an ace. Thank you for showing me. Right?
You can't just always limp bad hands.
Okay, because I was going to jam an ace. Okay. Why am I talking to this man? It makes no sense to me.
I'm okay, thank you.
I don't know, Nick, but I appreciate it.
I'm okay, thank you.
Can I get
Better
that
than
back?
sitting in silence here. Shout out to the serving staff. Not easy to come downstairs. The streaming table is here in the basement in the corner. There's only 2 players playing.
Take a hand off every now and then. Take a hand off.
But you come down here, you make sure they're taken care of. And it does not go unnoticed. There's our counts. 2-1 chip lead for Nicholas Devenezia, the people's champion, against the Goliath, the online crusher, the Northeast poker known player, Frank Funaro. But right now, he's got his work cut out for him because this man, Nick, is running good, playing good, and picking his spots carefully.
Take a board.
We'll go check, check. We'll see a flop. Nick just
225.
locks up this one with the king 6 by flopping second pair. And Frank lets it go very quickly. Friendly atmosphere here.
Yeah, right? I do that all the time. I like 2, and then I look at them, and then I'll say 20, and then I'll look at them, and I'll say 5. That's okay, right? They let me do it at home. You got it. I like to do 10-minute blind levels from here on out. That's constant.
I think they changed they usually drop them heads up. Like,
Right.
It's usually like there's like 30 or something. Or
I watched the heads up of the opener, and it was done in one hand. Like literally, they just were like, ship. Another hand I got to take off.
Well, not this one, Nick.
And they were playing for $315,000, and the heads-up battle lasted one hand on the Winter Open. It was an open fold. I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Is that 2 racks of white, or is that a?
I have 4.7.
Okay, thanks.
I was just counting it out for me. I could just put it here.
I know it was 2 racks of white.
Frank continues with his limp strategy in position.
I'm 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess I got about 2 to 1 on you right now.
Yeah, you should have a little over 10 million right now.
Oh, okay. Okay, there's a way to tell that?
Yeah.
Check.
You should have like 10.1 or 10.2 or something.
Okay, thank you.
Nick receiving the information. Frank exactly right.
Check.
One check.
There is just over 15 million in play. Queen high with the 10 kicker is good for Nick. Can he find his way to a showdown? I think Frank's going to try to steal this one. It's awkward because the queen high just might be good, but just in case it's not, let's bet. Let's get him to fold.
It's very cute.
The better queen highs, the better king highs.
Very demure.
Very demure. Nick up on the TikTok trends.
Very good.
Folds his hand. Between the two of them, I would have guessed Frank would be the TikTok guy, but maybe I'm wrong. Don't let me judge.
Check my blood sugar. I'm good.
$400.
One raise, 400.
Raising a call. Both players with a 7. Nick with the better ace-7 offsuit. And as so often happens in heads-up play, neither opponent improves on the flop. Turn stays the same, but both pick up an open-ender. Nick in excellent shape now with a better non-paired overcard and the same open-ender as Frank.
Two bet 600.
But Frank leads out.
Call 600.
Would love to see a brick like a 4 or a 5. Instead it's a jack, but changes not much. Will Frank go for it here with queen high, blocker to the straight, not much showdown value.
1.4.
He does.
Two bets 1,400,000.
Goes about 60% pot, putting Nick into a tough spot with just ace high. You have a card, the 7, blocking the straight, but also blocking that same draw you want your opponent to have.
No.
Just lets it go. There are also 3 clubs on the board, and Frank had a club.
Want to do a 7-minute break? Yeah.
5 or 10 minutes. Or
I'll take some time, yeah. Yeah,
Well,
I gotta use the facilities.
Yeah, whatever.
10 minutes good?
I'm
Whatever
cool
you
with
want to
that.
do.
Cool with
Yeah,
that?
I just got to go to the bathroom, but I have to. I mean, as soon as we're back, it's fine.
Yeah. I don't need a ton of time. 10 minutes is good.
All right, you heard it there. We're going to take what is likely going to be a 10-minute break, perhaps shorter if they come back and are ready to play quicker than that. But at maximum, 10 minutes. Use the restroom. If you all out there in chat world need to do the same, now's a great time, but don't go too far, because when we come back, we're going to come back to the 200 big blind level, and things are getting serious. We're looking to find the champion of this BetMGM Online Championship. Don't go far. We'll see you in 10 minutes.
Tap into BetMGM Casino, and you're entering a huge library full of exclusive games. Games you won't find anywhere else. Looking for jackpots? Right this way. You'll always find someone ready to give you a hand. Or some dice. Your favorite game is waiting for you. On America's #1 online casino.
Oh, what's up? You watching the game? Or maybe the one later. Put a little BetMGM action on it now. Any game becomes the game. When you got overs and unders, you're in it every time they throw the ball, kick the ball, dribble the ball. Maybe it's not even a ball.
Who needs a ball?
Now that bet's got you watching every inning, half, round, period, set, hole, a lap. Right from the edge of your seat.
Dude, did you know BetMGM has responsible gambling tools so you don't get carried away?
I never get carried away. Well, there were the bobbleheads. And the playoff beer.
Chili's ready.
Well, those tools could really help.
Don't forget about the backyard rink.
Yeah, these tools are pretty great.
BetMGM is committed to making gambling safe and fun with responsible gambling tools, so you don't get carried away.
Tap into BetMGM Casino, and you're entering a huge library full of exclusive games. Games you won't find anywhere else. Looking for jackpots? Right this way. You'll always find someone ready to give you a hand. Or some dice. Your favorite game is waiting for you. On BetMGM Casino.
Discover BetMGM Casino and leap into a world filled with all your favorite casino games. Plus exclusive ones you can't find anywhere else. And progressive jackpots that keep growing. All of it right at your fingertips. BetMGM Casino. Start your adventure today.
There are some feelings you can get with any sports book.
The highs!
The no-no-nos.
The OOOs! Now, what you want to do with this?
But the feeling that no matter what, you're taken care of.
Oh, I just earned a hotel suite.
You only get that here at the sportsbook Born in Vegas, where they know how to treat you right.
Who you talking to, Jamie Foxx?
Bonus bets, exclusive offers, real world rewards. BetMGM. Download and bet today.
At BetMGM, everyone gets a welcome offer. So whether you're courtside trying to hit the over
Or up here trying to hit the under. Or hitting that win with your crew. Yeah, see, defense. All way up here with a same-game parlay. Yeah!
BetMGM's got your back. Get your welcome offer and play with the sportsbook Born in Vegas.
All these seats. Really?
Get up to a $1,500 new customer offer and bonus bets when you sign up now. BetMGM. Download and bet today. BetMGM Casino has the most exciting live dealer tables. So when you want the magic of Vegas, you get the magic of Vegas. All the excitement of a player's paradise with live dealer blackjack, roulette, craps, baccarat, and more. Anytime, anywhere.
I never split nines.
Download and get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 on the house, only from the casino Born in Vegas.
On BetMGM Casino, there are so many jackpots that you never know when one will go. So many jackpots. So many jackpots. BetMGM Casino. Jackpots. So many.
Download to get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 on the house. BetMGM Casino.
Tap into BetMGM Casino, and you're entering a huge library full of exclusive games. Games you won't find anywhere else. Looking for jackpots? Right this way. You'll always find someone ready to give you a hand. Or some dice. Your favorite game is waiting for you. On America's #1 online casino.
Dude, did you know BetMGM has responsible gambling tools so you don't get carried away?
I never get carried away. Well, there were the bobbleheads. And the playoff beer.
Chili's ready.
Well, those tools could really help.
Don't forget about the backyard rink.
Yeah, these tools are pretty great.
BetMGM is committed to making gambling safe and fun with responsible gambling tools, so you don't get carried away.
There are some feelings you can get with any sportsbook. Oh, the highs! No. The no-no-nos. Oh! The oh-oh-ohs. Now, what you want to do with this? But the feeling that no matter what, you're taken care of.
Oh, I just earned a hotel suite.
You only get that here at the sportsbook Born in Vegas, where they know how to treat you right.
Who you talking to, Jamie Foxx?
Bonus bets, exclusive offers, real-world rewards. BetMGM. Download and bet today.
There are so many jackpots that you never know when one will go. So many jackpots. So many jackpots. BetMGM Casino. Jackpots. So many.
Download to get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 on the house. BetMGM Casino.
I mean,
A little bit.
you have eight.
Yeah, I got eight small, but a little bit. We're good.
Waiting on them.
Okay.
What are those chips?
Cranberries. Cash me out. Cash me out. Cash me out.
They're like bubble gum.
Welcome back. Heads
Yeah,
up
so cool.
rolls on between
They're hot
Nicholas
candy.
Devenezia and Frank
Candy.
Funaro.
There you go.
Frank get the disadvantage here, 6-8.
I was just saying, I got to get second to break even. I lost so much money at the craps table waiting for this game to start. 4 hours. I lost 7,500 at the craps table waiting for the game to start.
Nick Devenezia, this game was supposed to start at noon. We started it at 4 to accommodate someone who wasn't here.
This away. I know
And
the
apparently
rules.
that was a very
I know the rules, guys.
negative
Not a needle
4
fight.
hours for this man. But here he is
Yeah,
with the
take the
chip lead
board.
heads up.
Check.
Middle pair for both players. Frank with the better kicker.
Call 2.
200, one call.
I'll check.
Two checks.
Check, check on that turn. A 3 on the river gives Nick 2 pair. Wow. The only card in the
I'll check.
deck.
One check.
$1 million in the pot, and Frank's gonna bet his 10. For value, I promise you this.
Hey, look.
Trying to get called by a 6. But instead it's the 10-3. Unexpected 2 pair.
million.
One raises to 1.2.
Gross. No thank you. We went for thin value. We get check raised. Very unexpectedly, and yet strength announced.
Maybe this was thin.
It was thin. I don't know that it was too thin, Frank. Correctly identified that his opponent likely did not have a queen or an ace, so this 10 felt like enough to bet. And yet, who can put your opponent on the 10-3? Good folds, disciplined. I like the bet for value, but it's easy to say that was incorrect when you see the cards up. Not only can you get called by a 6, but you can get called by a worse 10.
Like this? Good.
10 deuce, 10-4, 10-5, 10-6, 10-7. Not 10-3 though, which makes 2 pair on the river, and Frank sinks further behind his opponent.
Oh, I got no. Not today. Not today, Satan.
A battle rages on here on the bottom floor of Borgata Hotel and Casino. Heads up, we roll.
Limping is pimping.
2 good hands here. Queen 10 suited versus ace 7
Gotta keep
suited.
it small against you. Keep beating me.
Yeah, I'm gonna raise this one though. I'm going to 5 straight.
No
500,000
lies told.
straight.
Queen 10 off. Apologies for Frank on the button. I don't think we're gonna let this one go. We'll call. See a flop in position against the suited ace 7 of Nick. Oh boy. Top pair for Nick, gutter ball for Frank.
450.
One gets 450.
Continues for 1/3 pot. Frank has Probably too much to just let this go. A gutter to the nuts. We'll see a card in position, hoping to see his opponent slow down or hit a king. That's not it. Instead, 2 pair for Nick, a welcome sight for the man who got into this tournament for $10. He's got 2 pair and has his opponent on the ropes.
1.8.
Bets
give it
and gets a
away.
quick fold.
Bad at this. Jesus Christ. I'll bet you had a live hand though.
He's
Live
right.
hand. That's not good then. I mean,
oh no. There's no way you were good there.
He's right. Frank did have outs, but they were few and far between via the 4 kings. I don't hate the bet, Nick. Frank has an ace. He's not folding. In this case, the gutter ball weak enough to let go. And here we are. A 10.4 to 4 chip lead for the David in this David versus Goliath match. I'd say that's a fair assessment.
2 checks.
Based on experience and how much they bought into this tournament for. This was a $1,000 tournament with over 35K up top, but not sure, assuming Frank bought in for the advertised package price, but we know Nick told us on stream that he got into this thing for $10 via Step Satellite. $10 into $100 into $1,000, parlayed to a final table, and sits with a massive chip lead against Frank Funaro.
I'm sorry, man, but you didn't remind me.
My bad.
Okay. I'm glad you take responsibility. Thank you.
Two calls.
Check it.
Check.
I'll check this paired board.
Two bets, 200.
There's a 12% chance I'm ahead. Not enough.
One fold.
I'm sorry, man. I'm just.
That's
I'm
all
having
good.
fun, you know. It's all good.
All good.
All good. All right.
No worries.
All right. Cool. It's all good. All right.
Nick
I'm enjoying
feeling out
myself.
the dynamics here.
I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah. Nice. That's good. Good. Good.
Frank's a pro, never going to complain
just like
about
that. I'll put it
somebody
on.
genuinely enjoying themselves, interacting, putting on a show.
All in.
One's all in, 2 folds.
A jam from
overplayed it.
Nick, a fold from Frank. The story continues. Nick extends his lead over FrankyFunk.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. Yeah, that's what I feel like. I think you're right about that. Uh-oh, maybe you're wrong about that.
2 raises, 400.
Unacceptable.
Frank has abandoned the limp strategy, now with a sub 20 big blind stack. Raises, takes it down. Let's get back into the fight, says Frank. 22 bigs after that pot. Broadway cards from
4
Nick,
1/4.
absolute garbage from Frank.
425.
Bottom 5% hand. If there's ever a hand to fold to a pre-flop raise, heads up, this is it, and he does so. Doesn't love it. All over his face, tired of seeing chips move to his opponent, and yet that's where we are. Nicholas Devenezia with 55 big blinds to Frank's 20. $35,000. A BetMGM custom computer. In play, up for grabs, along with that beautiful trophy right behind him.
2 raises to 4. 1 fold.
I'll double down.
Tables turned on that hand. A raise and a pre-flop fold from Nick.
One call. 2 check. Two check.
I'll check it back.
Interesting spot here with Nick just calling free with a monster ace-queen.
Call 200.
A quick bet with a combo draw from Frank. Nick responds in kind with a quick call. Oh my. Frank drills both the straight and the flush. 1 million in the pot, only ace high for Nick.
Oh, you want to bet that much? You want to bet $1 million right now? I was going to call 6 like that. All right, give me a sec.
Bets pot. Frank doesn't love to hear that he might miss out on a little value, but hopes to still get called holding the jack high flush.
Man, I'm so bad at this. I just fold.
Finds the fold anyway.
All right.
Our dealers rotate out. Frank has to
Are we
not
using
love.
1 deck or 2 decks? We using 1 deck?
They usually switch like every, I guess, levels or something. A couple hours or less. Maybe, yeah, maybe every hour, every level or whatever. Maybe every level, right? Yeah.
Again, Frank has to not love not getting value with his flush there on the river. He bet pot, targeting maybe a different range of hands than what Nick ended up with there. The jack 4 off, the Robbie.
Call 400.
Opens up. Nick will call in the big line.
Check. Call 200.
Nick flops top pair, check calls. Second pair for Frank, who drills, trips on the turn. A dream spot. We look to target value from a king.
Two bets, 550.
Call 550.
Bets 1/3 pot, gets snap called. Music to Frank Funaro's ears. Is this the turning point for him? A full house for Frank Funaro. Top pair. Nick Devenezia wondering how much it's going to cost him on the river with $2.5 million in the middle.
That's what I thought was going to happen right there. That is what I thought was going to happen right there. How much?
3,275,000.
3,275,000. Let me check my inventory. Okay. 3,275,000.
You hear it, a massive pot.
That is so sick.
A massive bet from Frank.
Two,
Overbets the river with his full house.
75.
Going for the glory.
I'll have this left. You'll have so many chips. I'm in.
Oh.
Wow, he gets
Jack
called.
Is good in this situation. Yep, Jack is good in this situation.
He doesn't have to show, yeah.
Yep.
3.275.
Yeah.
My goodness, a full house from Frank.
Just my luck to have a 3.
And he gets almost all of it from his opponent. Frank Funaro turns the tables on Nick Devenezia and takes over the chip lead with $9.4 million in tow. That's what it takes. One big hand, one second best hand from Devenezia, and Funaro back where he started this day, on top of the counts, heads up.
You probably,
We have 9.
you got about 9.
9-3.
Yeah, we switched it, 2 to 1. Okay. I'm 1 million, yes? Okay, 1 million. All right. Nice shove. 450.
One raise, 450. 450. Two calls.
Nick trying to work his way back. 10-8 suited versus Queen-4 suited. Raising a call.
2 checks.
No pair for either player, but a gutter ball for Nick. Presents itself backdoor flush for Frank, and
2 folds.
a bet no folds.